If you believe, as I do, that there is still a need and a place for Bible study in the age of tablets, smartphones, social media, and VR, then you are likely to share my pedagogical vision that in order to get learners engaged with the ancient text, we need to upgrade the means and methods through which the Bible is taught. This is what BibleQuest is all about. But why create a video game to study Bible in the first place? The serious games industry is in a period of profound innovation, if not outright disruption, offering fundamentally new types of learning products, integrating psychometrics, neuroscience, augmented reality, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence into next-generation educational video games. Empirical evidence shows that video games in the classroom raise attendance, decrease behavioral issues, and push students to take risks, learn from failure, and keep trying until they solve the problem and reach their goals. Research shows that playing a game with an idealized avatar changes how we think and act in real life, specifically making us more confident, more ambitious, and more committed to our real-life goals. Finally, kids who play video games were recorded to have read an average of 55 minutes daily of pleasure reading, while non-gamers were recorded spending an average of 41 minutes daily, a significant 34.1% increase of joyful and meaningful reading. This implores us to incorporate traditional curriculum-based texts into video games to both engage learners and further increase literacy skills through play. Pedagogically, it seems a no-brainer that game-based learning should be incorporated into the classroom, and Bible learning should be no exception. But what about viability of game-based learning in the classroom? Why invest in such a venture? The global game-based learning market is in a boom phase. The worldwide 5-year compound annual growth rate for game-based learning products and services is a strong 37.1%, and revenues are likely to quadruple and reach over $17 billion by 2023. Of the 7 advanced learning technology products followed by Mitari, game-based learning has the highest growth rate. Over $1.7 billion in funding flowed to educational game companies across the planet in 2016-2017. Private investments made to suppliers of serious games reached historic heights in the same year. Most of the funding was for developing specific types of educational games designed for particular demographics. Here's where you come in. Whether you are an entrepreneur looking to fund a promising venture in educational technology, or a philanthropist dedicated to advancing and spreading Bible study, particularly among youth, you can become part of this educational revolution in Bible studies. Now, you might be asking yourself, game-based learning for Bible? Is there a demand and a market for bringing this disruptive innovation into the teaching of the ancient text? There are over 34,000 private schools in the United States, serving 5.7 million pre-K to 12 students. Private schools account for 25% of the schools in the United States and enroll 10% of all pre-K to 12 students. Most private school students, 78%, attend religiously affiliated schools. It is these schools that make up the primary market for game-based learning in Bible studies. There are approximately 2 million homeschoolers in the United States, 3% of the school-age population. In 12 years between 1999 and 2011, there has been a 270% increase in homeschoolers in the United States. 87% of homeschoolers have strong Christian beliefs. Religious conviction is the second most common reason for homeschooling in the United States. In addition, students from religious families that attend public schools, church programs, Sunday schools, and afternoon Hebrew schools, synagogue programs, and religious summer camps also make up the potential market that would be interested in Bible video games that teach Scripture. Why BibleQuest over other Bible games? Simply put, there aren't many quality Bible games out there that fit under the category of serious games. Most video games containing Bible themes are merely reskins of previous video games disguised with a biblical figure and biblical artifacts as props. Take, for example, the game Exodus by Wisdom Tree Games. Moses and his staff replaced the good warrior and bombs, and Egyptians replaced the bad guys. There's no learning of the biblical text, and one could even posit that these games are violent. Another example, the Bible game, which has sold approximately 50,000 copies, is a trivia-style game. And while there is more learning involved in this game, It doesn't teach the actual biblical text as part of the game. It seems more appropriate as an assessment tool than as an actual learning tool. An interesting game with 900 funders on Kickstarter was David: Rise of a King. It is a third-person game framed within the setting of the story of David. The game has beautiful graphics and advanced animation, but once again, the gameplay seems more central here than the biblical text. Modern Hebrew stems from biblical Hebrew. As I'm fluent in both modern and biblical Hebrew and proficient in the Hebrew Bible, I can attest to the fact that the biblical text cannot be deciphered from the voiceover used in the game. Furthermore, this game is closer to being a regular Quest video game framed in the setting of a biblical narrative, but not in order to actually teach the biblical text. As a Bible teacher, I would have difficulty endorsing this game or allowing my students to play it in class. Finally, the last update I could find for the game was in February 2017, and it was for the third demo of the game, 3 years after the project was funded. It appears the game David: Rise of a King will not be released anytime soon, leaving the game-based learning market ready and waiting for a game to teach the biblical text. And I will rise to the challenge. I'm Chava. I have a BA in Bible Studies and English Literature from Bar-Ilan University, one of the most prominent universities in the field of Bible studies in the world. I also obtained my MA in Bible Studies at Bar-Ilan University. My teacher training certification is from the Hebrew University School of Education. However, it is my experience teaching Bible in middle school that has provided me with hands-on knowledge and understanding as to what kids like and need in order to want to learn and in order to learn well. I have 20 years of experience in developing Bible curriculum used in over 200 schools around the world. As head writer and project coordinator, I work together with writers, graphic designers, illustrators, and editors, and led my team to deliver high-quality material. My experience in training educators both face-to-face and online has provided me with an understanding of what teachers, coordinators, and principals need in order to successfully implement a new program and innovative teaching methods. Most recently, my certification in educational technology at UBC has furthered my insight into 21st century learning and integrating technology in transformative ways into education. It is my goal as both an educator and a parent to gamify learning and to harness technology, particularly game-based learning qualities, into Bible study. I will engage a highly skilled team of professionals as committed and as passionate as myself, and together we will bring this ancient text into 21st century learning with BibleQuest. What will make BibleQuest different from other Bible games on the market? BibleQuest will incorporate the actual biblical text and teach literary and textual skills by incorporating reading tasks and activities on the biblical text inherent to the quest narrative of the game. The game will incorporate collaboration and discussion between players, learners, so that students are equally engaged in Bible study as they are enthusiastic and determined to accomplish the quest. We will not compromise on the content or level of learning for the sake of developing game mechanics. The game elements will work to amplify the learning and not hinder the development of the game or distract from the focus, which is the interactive learning of the biblical text. BibleQuest will be developed by a diverse team, taking into account different faiths, and constructed in a modular fashion so that learners, players of different beliefs and different needs can learn with BibleQuest and enjoy the game. How will users and buyers be reached? Email and social media will be our initial and primary method of marketing, reaching out to Christian schools, Jewish schools, churches, synagogues, providing trailers and demos to introduce BibleQuest, as well as information on how to become part of the pilot program. After the initial pilot, we will provide screencasts of gameplay and interviews of students, players, and educators telling of their positive experience using BibleQuest. We will create online webinars to showcase the game and attend ETEC conferences like ISTE to present the game to potential customers. The initial stage for BibleQuest will include the development of a prototype, pilot testing, and changes of this prototype. The budget necessary to develop the prototype of BibleQuest is estimated at $667,000. The expected time for the development of the prototype is 12 months. Join me and help level up Bible learning by bringing the ancient text into the 21st century with BibleQuest.